Welcome back to the Goku Report, and welcome back for a new edition of Box Office History, where we look at the discography of films from beginning to end, year, budget, as long as the budget is available, domestic box office, and total worldwide box office. This time we will be looking at the Chronicles of Narnia, which is unfortunately only three films total to talk about and discuss this box office history of. Uh, First up, mention two of the three films. The first two films would be directed and produced by the Walt Disney Company, and the third film of the theatrical release films would be done by 20th Century Fox. Personally, I prefer the BBC miniseries from the late 80s, early 90s, but this is theatrical. So, with that said, first up, we start with the first of the three films, based on technically the second book of the Chronicles of Narnia, and that being the first film, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, released in 2005, rated PG, and with a budget of $180 million. Needless to say, quite a massive budget because Disney wanted their own equivalent to Lord of the Rings. So, since you couldn't have Christopher, or rather J.R.R. Tolkien, why not go for his good friend C.S. Lewis? Interesting logic and not bad. The first film in the three films would do actually very well. And personally, though, of the three films, for me personally, it's my second favorite. My personal favorite is the second film of these three, surprisingly. But domestically, it would do 39.2% of its worldwide box office would come domestically. It would do $291,710,957 at the domestic box office, and worldwide, Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe would do $745,013,115. So, needless to say, it was very successful at the box office, with over 745 million on budget 108 million, and stuff though they spent over 200 million once you add everything together. So it still made a profit though, nevertheless. So Disney greenlit a sequel based on the fourth book in the seven-book series. Um, that being Prince Caspian, which is my personal favorite of the theatrical films. It would be released in 2008, 3 years later, rated PG again, but with a massive increase budget of 225 million. That's quite a increase of 45 million. So expected probably it to do obviously more, but unfortunately for them it didn't. Domestically, it would make up 33.7%, and it would domestically total do 141,621,490. Worldwide, Prince Caspian would do 419,665,568 at the box office. And the final film, we go to 20th Century Fox for the third and final film, easily the weakest by far, in my opinion. That being based off of the fifth book, um, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, or Dawn Treader, however you want to say it. Rated PG, and unfortunately, I actually forgot to put the release date on, but if I remember correctly, I believe it was around like 2011, 2012 time frame. It would have a budget of 155 million, a decrease, still a pretty good sized budget. It would only do 25.1% of its box office domestically, with 104,386,950. Worldwide, it would do 415,686,217 dollars. So it would do about 4 million less than the previous film, but overall, that is a drop of $330 million from the first film to the third. So, needless to say, why there was no more theatrical Chronicles of Narnia films done. Now, in recent time, just quickly mention before I cut this video, recent time, the copyrights were purchased by Netflix. And there's rumor Netflix is working on a mini-series on the Chronicles of Narnia books, and they're talking about like one season per book of the story, and probably looking at 10 episodes, I would say, my guess. But just an interesting little fact to know, and wrap up this box office history. So, leave a comment. What's your opinion? If you've seen the Chronicles of Narnia films, which was your personal favorite? Which do you think was the weakest by far? And give me ideas for future movie franchises to look at box office and information wise on. With that said, stay safe, and I'll see y'all next time.